The following is an original Aliven podcast.
So a couple things to note here, Wyatt. We've got a little bit of history at Phoenix that has been made, but also number two, our rookie is once again tardy.
Well, our rookie is known to be tardy most of the times, but hopefully he'll show up shortly. And you're right about records being broken.
Yeah, that is very true. I mean, of course, one thing to note about that history is that we're not gonna really discuss it all that much, but we will acknowledge this. Tyler Reif won at Phoenix, and here's something to note here. Tyler Reif is 15 years old. 15.
Wait.
You heard that correctly.
Wait, is this an ARCA driver?
That's an ARCA driver. We're acknowledging this because that's history right there.
That
has
I
to
actually
be.
did not know this. Hold on.
Yeah. This recently, this past Friday night, Tyler Reif, the 15-year-old, won an ARCA race at Phoenix. That has to be the youngest winner that I've known of since Todd Gilliland. Back in 2015 of all years. So
that might be a future. Come on.
Oh man, you gotta love those kinds of phone calls.
Sorry about that.
But welcome to the 31st edition of Gamers Talk NASCAR. As always, I'm Elijah Leonard. Alongside me is Wyatt Walker and our rookie Nathan Stapleton. He'll be here eventually. Right now he is running about 10 minutes late. Well, 11 really, if we want to get a little technical here. But let's go ahead and touch on Phoenix for just a bit here, because from what I heard, I mean, I unfortunately didn't get to watch the highlights of the Xfinity race, but it looks like it wasn't that bad.
The Xfinity race is pretty good. I didn't get to watch the full thing. I think I showed up close to the end. I'd say Allgaier dominated most of that race. Let me see if I can find the finishing results of that. Then I can talk about that a bit more. But him and Sammy Smith were one of the fastest of the day. Some drivers had to start in the back but worked their way up. It was the race was pretty good. Tough break for Allgaier having that spin.
Yeah.
And wrecked out. But sorry, I'm not getting as much. Not doing the best explaining all the information, but.
Well, I mean, we're doing what we can here with very little that we have.
Yeah.
But from the looks of things, Sammy Smith, I feel like this is a guy we're going to be talking about for a while. But Sammy
Definitely.
Smith, in his 13th start, wins his first Xfinity Series race. This is what, his fourth start to the year, and this is within his short period of time within his young Xfinity career. Like it's crazy. I'm really happy for Sammy Smith. I wasn't sure about his full-time run at first, but then once we got into the year, he started performing. He started leading laps. He even came close to winning on a couple of occasions, but now. For this past Saturday, he managed to pull off the dub. I mean, in his fourth start to the year, so that's big.
We knew as soon as we first heard about this kid and saw him race. I forgot what the first race he ran at, but I know me and you watched him together when I went up in Michigan, and he was pretty fast there. Led a bunch of laps last year, and that's just one race. That's just one of the few races I could think of on the top of my head.
Oh yeah.
we knew he's fast. We knew he was going to win eventually, and he's won at Phoenix, which is pretty good. And give a hats off to his teammate, Ryan Truex.
Didn't you choose him as a driver to stay away from? Or...
I don't remember, but Ryan Truex, he's pretty. I'll have to go back and look at that. But Ryan Truex actually surprised a lot, and I think maybe it's just the Joe Gibbs Racing equipment. But that 19 car is fast, and Ryan Truex is having a pretty good run. If you say so myself.
I think this is his.
I think I chose Brandon Jones.
I don't know if that's his. If this is his first start in that.
This is his first start.
Wow.
This is the first start.
So, I mean, first start in the 19 this year. Finished second.
Yeah,
Man.
Joe Graff Jr. Was in the last two. I forgot who ran the first. Oh, no, that was Mike Snyder.
Yeah, that was Myatt. But where did Joe Graff Jr. finish 31st? And he finished 31st, so that's not the best result. I mean, but especially after coming off of what I think it was like a 7th and a 4th and an 11th at Vegas and Fontana.
But then again, that was in
Gibbs equipment.
That was in Gibbs equipment. So that's what I was worried. That's what I was worried about when we were coming up to this one.
Yeah. But moving on to our finishing results. Yeah, I know that reviewing the Xfinity race was a little short-lived, but like I said, we are doing what we can with so little information that we were able to obtain. Sammy Smith wounding up as the winner. Ryan Truex finishing in the second position. Sheldon Creed third. Riley Herbst fourth. Chandler Smith bringing home the top five. John Hunter Nemechek in the sixth position. Austin Hill seventh. Josh Berry, ironically, in car number A, finishes in P8. Kyle Busch ninth. Daniel Hemrick completing the top 10. From positions 11th through 20th, we have in this order Sam Mayer, Cole Custer, Brett Moffitt, Anthony Alfredo, Parker Kligerman, Ryan Sieg, Kyle Weatherman, Parker Retzloff, Ryan Ellis, and Jeremy Clements, the top 20. Alrighty. And Wyatt's going to be away from his mic for just a few seconds, but from 21st through 30th in this order, we have Josh Williams, Jeb Burton, Brandon Jones, which thankfully he was running at the finish, but just not in the position that he was hoping for.
Sorry about that.
Connor Mosack, ironically enough, in car 24, finishes in P24. Kyle Sieg, Joey Gase, Leland Honeyman, Bailey Curry, Brendan Poole, Patrick Emmerling completing the top 30. And then the final 8 finishers in this order: Joe Graff Jr., Garrett Smithley, Jeffrey Earnhardt, Kaz Grala, Blaine Perkins, Justin Allgaier, Greg Golding, and Dawson Cram, who went out about halfway through the race on lap 99 with a fuel pump issue.
Just to let you know, I did went back in that video, and I did pick Brandon Jones. It might have been Stapleton.
Yeah, probably was.
I remember someone picked. Yeah, it was Stapleton. Yeah, Stapleton picked Ryan Truex. So, but I gotta say, what we're seeing out of that 19 is pretty fast.
That 19 is bad fast. Honestly, with a lot of speed. Hopefully, I wouldn't be surprised if they eventually turn that 19 possibly into a full-time car at some point down the road. We're just going to have to keep our eyes peeled for that. Okay. So now, on to the race that we do know a good amount about. The Cup race at Phoenix. Now, this race wasn't the most exciting in the whole wide world until we got a little bit closer to the end. The only good thing the only exciting thing that there was to this event was the restarts. Other than that, I will give NASCAR credit where it is due. They tried to make some adjustments to the package so that way that they could have a little bit more slip and slide kind of racing where we would involve more passing. But really, to be quite honest, this race, it kind of dragged a bit.
I will say it did give more of a it was able to do more passes.
There were more passes.
I mean, like
there
I will
that.
give him that. That was one thing we needed out of the short tracks. The short tracks are not really the most entertaining to watch unless they're bump and runs. But this race, this was good because we needed like this type of this kinds of race because we need more of like passing. It wasn't always hard to pass. I mean, yes, it's still hard to pass, but it was actually a lot better. I kind of enjoyed that. I thought the racing was pretty good.
It was, it was kind of enjoyable. I will say that.
Dominating.
Yeah, it was once again the Hendrick Motorsport 5. I mean, what was the name of the race? The United Rentals Work United 500 at Phoenix, not the Hendrick Motorsports 5. I mean, United Rentals Work United 500. Yeah, Hendrick pretty much once again put on a clinic. This race played out the exact same way that it did last week, with Hendrick dominating. Whether it be with 2 or 3 of their cars in the top 5, a caution coming out towards the tail end, a restart, but the difference maker was there was a second restart because of AJ Allmendinger and a few others spinning in turn 2 and, well, of course, wrecking in 2.
And let's add this detail in here too. Kevin Harvick was leading at close to the end and looked like he was going to walk away with his 10th Phoenix win, and I was kind of hoping he did win that race too.
Yeah, I was.
Harvick was leading when that caution came out.
I was wishing for the race to go green the rest of the way because I really wanted to see Harvick win, but of course Harrison Burton had an issue. I think he probably just got into the wall and that just loosened up his car enough to where he just lost control. And
wasn't he the caution last week?
No, that was Almirola. That was Almirola.
That was Almirola. Okay.
And speaking of Almirola, he was a caution. He wasn't the caution that decided everything. He had some tire issues. And when I say tire issues, I mean the tire issue to where I've never seen this before, where the whole tire carcass rolls away and then follows the actual wheel bearing that the carcass is mounted on. That rolls away, and then all that's left is the rotors. He was that right front. He was just driving on rotors on the right front tire. That's all. But back to that finish. Of course, Byron thinking, "Oh shoot, the lowest he's ever been all day was 4th." He was thinking to himself, "There's no way we're gonna win this thing." But then, of course, those 2 restarts happen. He gets out front, and that's all she wrote. Byron goes on to win, and that is the first time since 2007 the 24 has gone back-to-back.
And let me add this real quick. I can't remember which one. I think it was Tyler Reddick. Maybe it was Ryan Blaney. But one of those two have William Byron owe them. Because I don't think William Byron would have won that race if he didn't got that push out of turn.
It was Reddick. It was Reddick.
It was I thought it was Reddick. Yeah, Reddick owes it. William Byron owed Reddick one.
Yeah.
William Byron owes him one because without that push, I don't think William Byron would have won that race. I will be completely honest. It would have been between Larson and Blaney or Byron, which Blaney was a no-show till the very end.
Yeah.
I was about to look like a genius picking him to win.
I almost looked like a genius too with Reddick being on 4 fresh tires, but our gambles finished second and third, top 5 respectively. So we're going to go through the results here. Kyle Larson finishing in the 4th position. Kevin Harvick in his final spring race at Phoenix, finishing inside of the top 5. Christopher Bell, 6th. Chase Briscoe, 7th. Let's talk about him for a split second.
Yeah, I was just about to say that, too.
Thank goodness Briscoe turned it around this week. We're not blaming Briscoe distinctively, because Briscoe's an amazing driver. He has shown that week in and week out, but the last 2-3 weeks, he has not gotten off on the right foot to start off the year. He just wasn't getting good runs. And now here he is. Top 10. Needed this.
I was worried about Briscoe at the beginning. He wasn't up there, but he slowly crept his way up. And I'm like, finally, he's having a good run. And he finished in a good top 10. That's amazing. And there's a couple of guys I want to talk to when we get to next, but we'll get to those here in a second.
Kyle Busch, ironically in car number 8, finishes in P8. Alex Bowman, 9th. Here's the other guy that we're going to talk about here.
Yep,
Josh Berry, completing the top 10, second start, filling in for Chase Elliott. This time with the information he needed for this next-gen car. He adjusted to it. He was right around top 20 throughout the whole day. Top as high as what? 15th, 16th?
15th. I'd say 13th. He was 13th at one point, too.
I didn't even notice that. But he pulled it together for a top 10. That was
Hendricks all got top 10, but you got to give it. But Josh Berry, I was worried about him coming this weekend. I mean, I don't remember if I picked him as a dark horse or not. I don't think I did. But Josh Berry was the guy I was wondering about how he would do. He finally got tested in this car. It wasn't last minute. He's done pretty well. He kept that car clean. He was in the back, yeah, but he crept his way up slowly but surely. I saw his numbers.
Mm-hmm.
To have a good finish like that has me expect a lot out of Josh Berry, especially at tracks like Bristol or Martinsville, because as far as I know, he's in those 2 races, and Richmond too.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I don't know about Richmond, to be honest, but I know at least Martinsville and Bristol should be something. And here he is,
almost 20 minutes late.
At least I showed up.
Yeah, sorry, I was playing BeamNG Drive.
Well, welcome anyways, buddy. But yeah, we were getting the finishing result for the Cup Series. We were just talking about how Josh Berry getting a top 10.
Yeah, that shocked me that he got a top 10 out of nowhere. But yeah, that's all I really have to say about that. It was I think 13th most of the day. But he 13th, 15th. He was good, but
better than Vegas, that's for sure.
Oh yeah,
way better than Vegas.
Talking about drivers better than Vegas, Joey Logano, 11th. Am I crazy to say that we might be having the champion? I forgot what they call it.
The slump.
The championship slump.
It's like the sophomore slump, you know. But
yeah, so are we seeing a championship slump from Joey Logano?
It's a little early to say that. It's a little early this year to say it. But
maybe not.
Sorry, go ahead.
Maybe not fully on Logano, but I feel like Penske as a whole is not good yet, and I feel like Ford as a whole is a little bit behind.
They're kind of in the hole right now.
Right, I think it's safe to say that Chevy's the best, but Toyota is also kind of favor Chevy. But
if we have to pick a Ford who's on the roll right now, finishes may not show it, but the way he's racing, Brad Keselowski.
Easily.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he should have had a top 10.
I agree.
Well, I think the
Speaking-
two best forces coming out of and Black Keselowski easily so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed. Speaking of Ford and Harvick, his teammate got 12th.
Yeah.
Ryan
so-
Preece.
that's a good effort. I mean, thankfully, I think it's a big turnaround from what Fontana and Vegas as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a really good turnaround for him. I'm happy to see that he's actually gotten a top 15 here. Let's go through the rest of the results here now from 13th through 20th. Michael McDowell, Bubba Wallace, Chris Buescher, Austin Dillon, Martin Truex Jr., Brad Keselowski, who we talked about a little bit ago, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., AJ Allmendinger completing the top 20 from 21st through 30th in this order. Eric Jones, Daniel Suarez, Denny Hamlin, Ross Chastain. Let's touch on those two here right now. Because of a said overtime finish, the last one that determined the finish. Yeah, those two had a little scuffle on track.
Yeah.
Yet again.
Yeah, and they
Yet again.
again, and let's just say Hamlin walled Chastain, and let's just also say on the very last lap, I think Chastain tried to get Hamlin back, but failed. I wouldn't say failed miserably, but he failed.
Yeah. Basically, so earlier as of this recording, I watched a clip on Twitter from the Hammond's podcast, and he basically said, "You know what? If he's going to the back and if he's getting wet, then so is Ross Chastain."
Right, he's like,
Hammond just said, "Screw it. I'm not in a good position. Let's just take Ross with me." I don't know why, but yeah.
He just looked at Ross and just thought about last season, and he just said, "If I'm going down, I am taking you with me."
Yeah.
And then they ended up being 23rd and 24th.
Oh my gosh. I'm willing to bet that the one guys were absolutely fuming when that happened.
If this keeps on happening throughout this year, I think we might eventually have Ross and Hammond throw down.
Part 2.
Yeah.
Um,
And I want to say this. Let's talk about Ross. How about both the teammates? Like those who were running top 10
they
and having a great race, but then they finished 22nd and 24th.
which I mean, it's not good. Speaking of seeing as how they came off of some really good finishes at Fontana and Vegas, Daytona is kind of a blur for me, so I can't say too much about Daytona, but that's finish wise specifically for Chastain and Suarez. But nonetheless, I mean it's sucky to see those kinds of results for those two, but just remember it's still pretty early in the season. We still got quite a long ways to go. They know they're gonna get finishes like this sometimes, so you just gotta roll with them punches, especially early on. But continuing on here, Austin Cindric 25th, Corey LaJoie 26th, Justin Haley, Ty Gibbs, Noah Gragson, and Ty Dillon. Hey, let's give a big props to Ty Dillon. He finally finished a race, but now this time within the top 30. He's getting slightly better. Yay! Go Ty Dillon. But 2 laps down though, nonetheless. I mean, he was running at the finish, so thank goodness for that.
He didn't blow up this time.
Now, before we reveal our final 6 finishers, let's talk about our 2 rookies, Ty Gibbs and Noah Gragson. Don't get me wrong, they actually performed pretty well this year. The numbers aren't really speaking for themselves. They're not backing up those kinds of runs. I think right now they're in their period where they're just trying to get used to these cars, but also they're kind of in trouble if they keep running like this.
Well, then again, this is a rookie season, so
well, I mean, still,
and it's early. Yeah.
Even if it's your rookie season and you're still running like this, you could still get booted from those rides in a year or two. For Ty Gibbs, he doesn't have to worry about anything. He's there. He's going to be in that 54 and or 18 if the 54 turns back into the 18 some point down the road. He's going to be in a Joe Gibbs racing car regardless.
Yeah,
it does not matter.
That's safe unless new ownership at JGR and they're like, okay, we just want, I don't know, unless something majorly changes at JGR, Ty Gibbs is staying there forever, just like Austin Dillon.
Yeah, I think the only way for something like that to not happen to Ty Gibbs, or like as far as like ownership roles, is that Joe would have to live forever. Which realistically, if this was a perfect world, then that would happen. But unfortunately, it's not. But again, if I don't see Ty Gibbs leaving that team anytime soon, because that is pretty much a lock. For Gregson, if for Gregson, I wouldn't say that he's performing like crap, because he's for his first few races in his full-time Cup career, he hasn't performed terrible. But again, these numbers to me are kind of scary, especially early in a run in the season, even for a rookie. So I mean, Gregson right now is kind of in a hole. I do see himself digging himself out, but it's gonna take him a while if that's ever going to happen. But if it doesn't, and if he keeps performing like this, he's in trouble. That's all I'm gonna say to that. But now our final 6 finishers: Zane Smith 31st, Todd Gilliland 32nd, Eric Almirola 33rd, Cody Ware 34th, Harrison Burton 35th, and BJ McLeod finishes dead last with a fuel pump issue at lap 50.
And now we go and look at the points real quick. Let's start off with the Xfinity Series. Austin Hill leads them with 2 wins. Nemechek's ahead. And after that, you have the teammates of John Hunter Nemechek and Sammy Smith. You know, I didn't point this out. I forgot to point this out. We talked about how Ryan Truex, a.k.a. Nathan's driver stay away from, who actually got second. All the full-time Joe Gibbs cars have wins already. Is this going to be like the RCR versus Joe Gibbs? I
think it will, but you can't count out Chain Motorsports either. The old guy was bad fast at being until he got swept.
Yeah.
You also, personally to me, if they start performing a little bit better, you cannot count out either Colleague Racing and or Stuart Haas Racing. Because I do see one of those 2 teams, or both of them, completely third-partying this group.
I'll throw in an underdog team for you. Big Machine. Parker Klingerman.
That's pretty true. Because he actually has been performing pretty well, hasn't he? Let's see. He's currently 12th in driver points right now. He's up
by 12.
Yeah. I mean, it's still early. He doesn't have any top 5s. He only has 1 top 10, and he's only led 1 lap. One lap.
That's still pretty good. And you look at the rest of the points. Allgaier's up 69. Nice. Chandler Smith and Riley Herbst plus 68. Sam Mayer 41. Cole Custer 31. Josh Berry 27. Hemrick 19. Creed 18. And we talked about Parker Klingerman being up by 12. Now, Here's where it gets interesting. The cutoff. Brett Moffitt is down by 12. Ryan Sieg down by 13. Tied with Jeff Burton. And Joe Graff Jr. down 15. So the Xfinity's kind of shaking up a bit. Looks like we kind of know who's all good. We all know who's what we originally thought was going to be we think it's going to be about the cutoff line most of that time. But you look at the ones below. Did we really see like Brett Moffitt or Jeff Burton, but even Joe Graff being below there? Below cutoff, but like at least close to the bubble.
I'd say that, but you got to remember for Joe Graff, he only has so few starts with Gibbs, but so many more with Ryan Sieg.
Mm-hmm.
If he continues to have the performances that he had this past weekend at Phoenix with Sieg's team, I don't see him sticking around close to that cutoff.
Yeah.
So I mean that's just how I see it. But that doesn't you can't count him out 100% yet, because you remember when he raced at SS Greenlight Racing, he actually was getting some pretty decent finishes for that team. I think even at one point, I think he probably was running in one race as close as somewhere inside the top 10. I mean, so I'm not denying Joe Graff's ability to get up to that, to run well and, you know, maybe get possibly some top 15s, top 10s. Not denying that at all. The only thing I'm iffy about is if he's going to stick around that cutoff. That's it.
Yeah, agreed. Jeff Burton's doing pretty well. Brett Moffitt's doing pretty good. They're still right around that area. But I think this is pretty interesting. Yes, it's only race 4, but how it looks is pretty interesting. Now we go up to the Cup Series where top 16 barely changed. Byron's top of the board with 2 wins now, and Kyle Busch, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is there. The places may have changed a bit, but it's still the same 16 drivers.
Yeah.
Alex Bowman up 73, Harvick up 70, Chastain 67, Larson 56, tied with Bell, Hamlin 44, Blaney 43, Truex 38, Suarez 37, Logano dropped. I think he dropped a bit, 34. Keselowski dropped, also tied with Logano, 34. Buescher 31, and then big jump to Bubba Wallace, who is up by 11. Here's where it changed, and one actually surprised me a bit. How he's still up here. Austin Cindric's down by 11. Corey LaJoie is still here.
He is
just down 13. Yeah. I thought Corey LaJoie would just been out by now, but Corey LaJoie is actually still sticking around.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing about Spire. Right now, it's like a Jack on the High season, because like the 7 car is doing fantastic. Top 20, I think, almost every race.
Mm-hmm.
Top 20, top 25 or something, and doing really good. Meanwhile, you have Ty Dillon finishing towards the back of field every race. So it's pretty clear of who's getting the better equipment and who's not at Spire. But Corey LaJoie, that 7 car is bad for us this year.
Yeah,
absolutely. I'm really
Michael McDowell moved up to the bubble, being -16. And how about this? Before this, Tyler Reddick. I have my own little deal over there. Tyler Reddick was like in the low 30s.
Yeah.
Literally last week, he was in the low 30s in points. He got 3rd place. He's already 4th in the cutoff, -20.
Yeah.
That's really good. I knew Talladega was going to be close, but I didn't think it was going to be that close.
Yeah, no. I mean, Reddick's pretty much right there.
So, I'd say my biggest surprise is Corey LaJoie and Tyler Reddick. In this.
Yeah.
And that is the point from Phoenix.
Man, let's see. What are... Well, of course, let's now to some of the other stories here. The timeline for when Chase Elliott's return is pretty much confirmed. It's scheduled to be, it's pretty much set to be in another maybe 6 weeks or so. So for the time being, Josh Berry is going to be in the car for the oval races. However, for COTA, the driver for the 9 is going to be Jordan Taylor. Yes, that Jordan Taylor from the IMSA WeatherTech series. Jordan Taylor is going to be in that 9 car, which that would be, of course, the first time ever that he'll be in a Cup car, especially a Hendrick Motorsports Cup car. And part of the reason for this, part of it is because of Jordan Taylor being a part of the Garage 56 team for the 24 Hours Le Mans for later this year. So this could be some pretty good practice for that.
Definitely. It'll be pretty interesting to see how he'll do in the 9. But he's not the only confirmed driver to drive at COTA.
There's a few more. Of course, Kimi Räikkönen is back for Project 91. That I'm happy to see that. Jimmy Johnson, I kind of was thinking he was going to be here. But Jimmy Johnson's going to be racing at COTA. And here's a surprise for me. Formula 1 driver Jenson Button is going to be racing at COTA for Rick Ware Racing. That one, to me, is, alongside Jordan Taylor, is the biggest one. Because this is going to be the first time ever that Jenson Button, well, Jordan Taylor as well, but Jenson Button will be, of course, driving a Cup car. That's gonna be interesting. I'm super happy to see that we're starting to get, I mean, with this car, and I've said it before, with other drivers at some of the other road course races, like of course last year with COTA and all the other road course races we've had. Let's see, Watkins Glen pretty much was the biggest one. Where, we have Kimi Räikkönen, Daniel Kvyat, Mike Rockenfeller, Joey Hand, just to name a few drivers, drive at all these other road courses and Watkins Glen, and just have more road course drivers in the field than we've ever had in a long time. And I'm so happy that we're getting that again. I'm so happy for that.
And to add on, we're bringing all the legends from other motorsport, like Formula 1 and Indy and IMSA. We got an IMSA too. It's like we got all these drivers from different different motorsport companies that's actually coming to race in these next gens.
I'm so happy for that. Like, that just, it's kind of like what it was with the Bristol Dirt Race. When you remember when I wasn't sure about it, but then all of a sudden you've got of course Stuart Friesen driving in that event. Chris Windham making his debut. I think there's Mike Marlar also driving in that event as well. Like some of the other dirt ringers. Heck, even the first time that NASCAR went to a dirt race for the first time in 43 years at Eldora with the Truck Series. Of course, we had Kenny Schrader, Scott Bloomquist as well, and Bobby Pierce. We've even had just the name of Christopher Bell, which he turned into the sensation he is today. There's a lot. there's quite a few. Even Donnie Schatz, when we started going to Knoxville, Donnie Schatz took part in the inaugural truck race at Knoxville. It's races like these where, you know, we have all these other, like, saved now for road courses, since we're talking about this, that we're going to see this in the next week, that all these road course all these road course specialists and drivers that, you know, of course, haven't been in the series in a while, they come back and they take part in this, whether it be a one-off or a few races, especially that surround their particular field of racing that they are, you know, that they do. It's so amazing, because then they get in there and they can mix it up with all the other Cup guys that are going for the championship, and I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I like it too. Like, I love seeing new faces that either I don't know who the heck they are. Like Joe Hand, I didn't know who that was until I figured out he was a road course guy. And then same with Tyler Carpenter, Bernice, that ran the Knoxville race. He came from the late models, and he got that way because he won, I think, at St. Louis or something. So it's cool having all these dirt guys and all these road course guys come into NASCAR, and like guys like Donnie Schatz, Scott Bloomquist, Michael Buddy Colfoy, and some others.
Yeah,
it's kind of cool for me, because I will say this: Travis has gotten me into the last couple of years massively. And I'm used to seeing guys like Kofoid and stuff race measures and stuff, and seeing them in the truck, or seeing like Bloomquist in a cup car, or something like that. It's really freaking cool.
Absolutely.
And it's also cool to see Jordan Taylor finally do a cup start and stuff like that as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'm really in Project 91.
Now, I was when I heard Jordan Taylor was going to be driving the 9, I was thinking to myself, well, I mean, that's cool, but I was also kind of thinking, it's kind of been when you really think about it, it's kind of been a long time coming. But I thought it would have been he would have had maybe a couple starts with Junior Motorsports in the Xfinity series, but I'll take this. I mean, for this, when it comes down to sequential shifting and, you know, having more than 4 gears, and with the way that the car is set up, which the car was designed for, so has packages specifically designed for the road courses, no duh there, but this car did really well on the road courses during testing and whatnot, and it did well at COTA as well for the first road course race. I'd say this is going to be up Jordan Taylor's alley, my personal opinion. So I think he might be up there for a while. At least the top 10, maybe top 5.
Agreed.
All right. What are some other breaking stories that we've got?
I'd say this one will be pretty interesting to talk about. Spire Motorsports is going to be running the gauntlet, as in, like, they are a cup team, they're a truck team. Now they're going to be running an Xfinity field with him going to make his debut at Dover, if I'm correct, Carson Hocevar.
And I didn't see that one. I was super happy to see that.
I was also really, really happy. I know he's not won yet in trucks, but the kid has talent. And I am confident to say that if you have at least some talent in it, in trucks, then you will probably do good in Xfinity. Because I will fully admit, the truck series is a crap fest. Almost every race. Like, that's why I feel bad for Deegan all the time. And that's why I feel bad for Carson Hocevar, because every which way something happens where he doesn't win. And then once Deegan got into Xfinity for that one-off start, she did fantastic. And I guess that's when, like, car. Now, I don't know how well Spot is going to do because in Cup, the 7 car is really good, but the 77 is not good at all. And then in Twats, whenever the 7 Twat for Spot 1 is usually pretty competitive. So I don't know how well the 77 at Xfinity car will be, but I think they are going to have a Junior Motorsports Alliance, so that might help.
I was going to mention that.
Yeah.
So, but I'm excited. I'm excited to see what Carson's going to do in a Xfinity car.
I was surprised at the fact that Spire Motorsports is attempting to do an Xfinity run. I think I was shocked when they were deciding to do a couple races in truck last year, and actually did pretty good with it. No surprise getting a win with William Byron last year at Martinsville, but even then, now they're going. Now I don't think they've ran a race. Have they ran a race yet?
No, not yet in Xfinity.
Well, I meant trucks.
Oh, in trucks? No, yeah, this year Daytona with Corey.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And they did do pretty well, especially with Corey LaJoy. And now with the Xfinity series, I don't have super high hopes, but with Carson Hocevar, I have good high hopes for this team. Hopefully, we'll see him do pretty well in this 77.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, that is something that we're going to have to keep our eyes on. I mean, especially in the, whatever races he is going to probably take part in, and whoever else is going to drive that car in the Xfinity series.
As far as it tells, I think it's only going to be him. And his only other races is Charlotte, Nashville, Michigan, second Darlington race, and Bristol.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. I think it's a 6-race deal, so.
It's not bad at all. I think that might be all the news.
All the big news, at least.
Yeah, all them biggins. So now, I think it's time we go ahead and preview the Atlanta the Atlanta Motor Speedway weekend, where all 3 series are going to be there: Trucks, Xfinity, and Cup, to see some awesome double file racing where nobody's really going to go anywhere.
Get to see a lot of nice paint schemes that will get destroyed.
Either that or go nowhere. But,
yeah. That's one thing I'm just gonna say say this real quick. I don't know why, but every super speedway race, besides like Daytona, but like for other, I guess 5 now, a lot of the teams decide to have like new sponsors or new special schemes for super speedways just to get destroyed.
I can already think of one, Haley Deegan last year. I think the sponsor that she got was brand new. She also had a really nice looking paint scheme. Unfortunately, maybe had a scuffle or two, and then the truck ended up blowing her engine out, and I think she caught fire in that. That was also something that almost put her out for a couple of weeks, when you really think about it, because all that smoke and fumes got into her helmet, and she was breathing that in. She almost died from that. So, but thankfully, she's still here. She's still racing. Hopefully it doesn't happen again this year. Please, let's not have that happen again this year. Come on. But I don't think I need to really ask anything about what to expect, because why did they have to do this to Atlanta? Atlanta was perfectly fine the way that it was. I understand it needed to repave, but why did they have to turn it into a super speedway? That's my thing.
They should have done it to Texas Motor Speedway. Everything's bigger in Texas. Why not make that a super speedway?
It's already going downhill as it is.
Or why not just remake Texas Motor Speedway into what Texas World was?
Yeah.
Or just make it a short track. Like, screw the plans for Fontana. Make it a short track. There we go. That's a done deal. Anyways, it's not really. They're just still going to push forward with the plans. But let's just get on down to predictions. Of course, we all know how this works. Driver to win. Driver to stay away from. The guy that hasn't been doing well the last couple of weeks, or they're just coming into a track where they possibly suck at. Dark Horse is the exact opposite. And, yeah, Atlanta Motor Speedway. Atlanta Motor Speedway. I know I went back to try to do the joke again, but I don't care, because I'm gonna keep making that joke no matter what. Just like this, hopefully, isn't gonna be the Hendrick Motorsports Better Health 400 at Atlanta. But yeah, let's go ahead and get on down to it. Poppleton, you are up first.
The main question is, how bold do I want to get? Oh, how?
Matt Mills in the Truck Series, is that your person to win?
Matt Mills, thank God Matt Mills is not in the 12 race.
Akinori Ogata is going to be the winner.
God.
The first ever Japanese driver to win.
My driver to stay away from is gonna be
That's your driver to stay away from, right there.
That scared the crap out of me. Just looking at the entry list 20 is deciding out here is spinning. My driver to stay away from will be Dean Thompson.
Yeah.
Alright.
My dark horse, taking of what I saw at Daytona before she crashed out, my dark horse is going to be Haley Deacon.
Okay.
And my driver to win the truck race at Atlanta Motor Super Speedway is gonna be, I'm gonna go bold, and I'm gonna say it shall be Corey Heim once again.
Alright, I like that.
Good deal.
I think he won there last year.
He did.
Maybe.
Yeah, he did.
I think he might win again. Now the Xfinity race, the Raptor King of Tough 250 at Atlanta Motor Super Speedway. I'm my driver to stay away from. I'm not gonna make the same mistake again. Wanting to see us safe. Also, I just want to say, I didn't realize this the first time looking through this, but apparently Cesar Baccarella is in a 4th Alpha Prime car.
No, he's not. That's 3 and B. That's actually a different type of news. He joined MBM Motorsports as a driver.
Ow.
So that's MBM, the drivers who have like the 66. I mean, 66, 55. They've done a couple cup starts too.
Oh,
I don't know. They're not huge teams, but
so
I don't know.
who exactly we talking about here?
Cesar Baccarella on the injury list. It says
one of the co-owners of Alpha Prime.
Yes. So that most likely. Wait, hold on. What is that SAR right next to the?
I don't know what that means.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that might be a 4th Alpha Prime car. That's probably a 4th one.
Probably. I have no clue.
No.
My dark horse, my driver to stay away from, I'm gonna say, I'm just gonna go bold this week. I don't care. It's Atlanta Motor Super Speedway. My driver to stay away from is gonna be Daniel Hemmett.
Alright.
continuing the trend of me being bold, my dark horse will be Cat's Koala.
Okay.
Alright.
And then continuing my trend of being bold, I know this probably won't happen, but I don't care. My driver to win is going to be Parker Wetslaff in the 31.
Huh?
You don't know who he is?
Reaction. Elijah's reaction.
Parker Wetslaff.
I
The
know.
one,
I
joining
know.
NASCAR Racing.
But you put him in the category as winner.
Let me go to
Because
racing
of his
real quick.
fourth place at Daytona?
Yes.
Is this why?
Yes.
He just was in the right place at the right time.
That's what
I agree with Elijah on this one.
That's what you need sometimes. And who knows? Crap's gonna hit the fan once again.
He
All
might
the
pull a
conditions-
James Busher, basically, is what you're saying.
I mean,
Crazy
he's not
things
wrong.
have
We've
happened.
had-
Crazier
we've-
things have happened. I'm going bold for a reason. It's a super speedway.
I swear, if you predict this is going to be as crazy as Zachary Taylor predicting Josh Bilicki finishing inside of the top 10 and gets it.
Yeah.
Now, if this does happen, I will be happy as all hell. But will it happen? No. But I'm being bold because it's a super speedway. So deal with it. Anyway.
I'm offended. Okay.
First, I like Pokemon off.
Elijah, we're gonna make a pack and put a Kyle Larson as stay away, right?
Yeah, of course we'll do that. We'll put Ty Dillon as the winner.
Nah. Hey, at least I didn't say like. At least I didn't say that Joey Gase was gonna win.
Well, you never know. Something crazy might happen, and he might be in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, Cesar Beccarella could win in the MBM.
He will be too slow.
But you never know. Everybody might wreck out. He might miss the whole thing by just jamming on the brakes and stopping.
He's muted. He's muted.
Anyway, my cup predictions for the Atlanta Super Speedway. My driver to stay away from, I do this every time. My driver to stay away from Kyle Larson. Because his Super Speedway luck is the worst I've ever seen. Just getting that one out of the way. Now, time to go back to bold. Let's see, my bold dark horse. I don't know how bold this might be, but I don't really care. I'm gonna say Mike McDowell is gonna be
Alright.
my dark horse.
Alright.
Okay.
And then my driver to win. Again, I don't know how bold this is. There's not really much bold I can do for a cup. But I'm gonna go someone that is a pretty damn good Super Speedway racer.
Cody Ware.
No. He's gonna finish the last.
Really?
You said that about Matt Mills, and look where he finished.
Anyway. My driver to win will be none other than the driver that will be sending DoorDash deliveries to people in celebration. Bubba Wallace will win.
Okay, I mean that's not
Alright.
bad.
Speedway racer. Good Super Speedway racer. I wasn't as bold for Cup as I was for the other two. Mike McDowell, good Super Speedway racer, good Super Speedway team as the dark horse, and then Bubba Wallace, good Super Speedway driver. But I'm convinced that Bubba's one of the best Super Speedway drivers in the Cup series right now. He's just a little bit underrated.
Alrighty then, Wyatt, you are up next.
So for my dark horse in the truck series, I'm gonna kind of agree with Stapleton. He's not the winner, but he will be there. I'm gonna go Corey Heim as my dark horse. Now, as it pains me to say it.
Oh.
I'm sorry. My driver stay away from Hailie Deegan. Hailie Deegan. I hate to say it. Hailie Deegan's not doing as good as we thought. I mean, she's racing amazing. She's getting caught up in something that's not even her fault. And Atlanta is going, and we're going to Atlanta, another super speedway, and I have that feeling it's going to happen again. I just have a bad feeling it's going to happen again. And last year, you mentioned this, she had her truck got caught on fire. So it's like, I just don't have a good feeling about Hailie Deegan this weekend. I hate to say it. I love Hailie Deegan. I want her to do good. She needs to do good this season, but it's not going as planned. And that worries me. Now, my driver to win, you know what? I'm going bold. Actually, it's not fully bold, but it'll work out. Matt DiBenedetto. I'm gonna give this one to Matty D.
I thought that would have been as bold as saying Bailey Curry is the driver to win.
Oh no! I'm not that. No. Now for the Xfinity Series. For my dark horse for the Xfinity Series, he's in here. I'll give it to him. I'll give it to Justin Haley.
Not bad.
My driver to stay away from. He may prove me wrong. Kind of hope he does, but I don't really see how he does on super speedways. This is where the 19 falls. I think Ryan Truex is going to be my stay away this time. He surprised a lot of us last week, but I don't know about super speedways. My driver to win? Man, he is gonna go 3 for 5. He's gonna go 3 for 5, Austin Hill.
Interesting. He's won all the odd races so far, so he could make that 3 for 3.
That's a safe bet.
Good super speedways.
Yeah.
That I feel like it's a safe bet.
Now, I'm going bold for my dark horse for the Cup Series. He is having a good start of the season. What are you on about?
I swear, if you say the person I think that
GG.
Who do you think I'm going to say?
Hi, Lawson somehow on a super speedway.
No.
Okay.
No, I'm talking about the person who almost won the second Atlanta race. My dark horse is going to be Corey LaJoie.
Oh.
Corey LaJoie has been having a really good season so far. He's been finishing pretty decent. Not last week, unfortunately, but here the other last weeks he's been finishing pretty good. He almost won Atlanta last year. I think Corey might be a bit of a threat. Not a threat, but you get what I mean. I think Corey LaJoie. My driver to stay away from. You know what? For laughs, Ty Gibbs. For laughs, I'll pick Ty Gibbs.
Good.
I can't really figure out anyone. I'll just go with laughs.
He just hasn't been doing well at all.
Yeah.
This year, just
nah. Nah. My driver to win. This is a tough one. I really do not know. This is going to be a hard one. Hard one to pick. You know what? Just because I can't think of anybody, just because I can't think of anybody, 3 in a row. William Byron.
Okay.
Byron's been on a hot streak. Byron won the spring race last year, and Hendricks has been dominating here lately. Wouldn't be surprised.
Altogether has been dominating lately.
It wouldn't surprise me if we see that you see the 24 go 3 in a row.
Yeah, it wouldn't be as surprising if Chevrolet went 5 in a row. Which, speaking of which, it's my turn. So,
run away.
Yeah, don't you fucking run away.
Run away, run far away.
So here we go for my driver to win the truck race. This one's also kind of borderline because it's, you know, it's kind of just, it's probably going to be all over the place. I'm going to say for my driver to win. This is actually going to be pretty interesting to say this. Man, I'm probably going to say Zane Smith will be my driver to win.
I like that pick.
I can't think of anybody right now because it's more of just everybody in the truck race, personally to me, is either, it's just because the trucks are so set up so identical to each other that it's just hit or miss for me right now. Same's gonna go for the Xfinity series, but I'm still gonna say Zane Smith's my driver to win. Driver to stay away from, I'm gonna have to give this one to Eckes. I'm just right now. For Atlanta, I'm not 100% confident in his well, not in his ability, but more so in his ability as a driving ability, to be more specific, but his ability to perform the best at Atlanta. And my dark horse, I'm gonna give her another chance, Hailie Deegan. Like, come on. She's actually, improved quite a bit. She's qualifying really well. She's running really well, but she's getting caught up in wrecks that are just basically other people's mess, and that's just not her fault at all. It's just bad luck. Bad luck for number 13. But now we get over to the Xfinity series. I want to say for my driver to win, I'm probably going to have to keep my eyes on Justin Haley. Seeing as how he's pretty experienced in super speedways, he could be the next Dale Jr. of super speedways. My driver to stay away from, I'm probably going to have to say for my guy to stay away from, maybe Riley Herbst is my driver to stay away from. Personally, to me, it's like any other. If it's any other track that's not a super speedway, okay. But since we're coming up to the Atlanta Motor Speedway, I don't know. Seeing as how this is a plate race, but now my dark horse, I don't think he'll. Like I said, I don't think. Well, I didn't say it, but I'm gonna say it now. I don't think he'll win, but I think he'll perform pretty well. Austin Hill's gonna be my dark horse. Now it's time for the main event, the AM Better Health 400 at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Now I'm gonna go bold on this one. I think he almost got it last time. I think he'll get it this time. Corey LaJoie will be my driver to win.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Seeing as how Corey LaJoie, he's not that bad of a super speedway guy when you really think about it. He actually can perform pretty well at super speedways. Even though I'm still not going to consider Atlanta Motor Speedway a super speedway by any stretch of the imagination. but I do think LaJoie's going to do pretty well. My driver, or maybe win. I think he will win. My driver to stay away from. I'm also going to have to severely double down on Ty Gibbs. Triple, even quadruple down on Ty Gibbs, because the last 4 races have just not gone well for him whatsoever. You would think, and this is after he came off of the Xfinity Series Championship. You would think he would carry all the momentum up to the Cup Series, and he probably have already won at Phoenix or Vegas by now. But no, he did not. And it's just, he's kind of just not there right now. I'm just saying Ty Gibbs is my driver to stay away from. My dark horse, he won't. It's kind of the same reasoning as who was it? Austin Hill. He won't. I don't think he'll win, but I do see him performing pretty well. William Byron. See, I'm just, because of all the speed that he's had all year thus far, and I mean, especially with the amount of time that he's spent up towards the front of the field. I mean, who knows? Well, who knows? Who knows what we're gonna see at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Well, gentlemen, we've pretty much covered everything that we need to. So, any final thoughts before we get the Atlanta Motor Speedway weekend underway? I know I had to backtrack on that, but I don't care.
Let's just get this weekend over with. I'm not looking forward to it. Just want to get to COTA. Just want to get to the next week.
Yeah.
I want Atlanta back. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'd say let's get this underway. Let's see who wins Atlanta.
Well, all I'm gonna say is let's just get in and get out of Atlanta. That's all I'm going to say. Anyways, that's going to do it for our show today. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys like this, be sure to give it a like. And if you have not considered subscribing yet, I recommend you do so in order to keep up with some fun content coming out in the near future. If you're listening to the Spotify replay, be sure to hit that green follow button so you don't miss a future audio replay of GTNs. They're supposed to come out at Thursday mornings at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. So that pretty much is going to do it for us. On behalf of Wyatt and also Nathan Stapleton, I'm Elijah Leonard signing out. Take care, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.
See ya.
Bye.